Hi guys, how is everybody? I have a house of men watching a game, so you're definitely going to hear that in the background. Do me a favor though, because you're here to listen, you're going to listen to the whole thing. Hit that like button for me because that is, the best way to support me, of course. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That is super duper important because I'm not going anywhere again. And we're here to stay. So make sure you hit subscribe. And I'm going to have a pinned comment down in the comment section. I know why you people don't comment. I wouldn't comment either because then you're going to have weirdos tagging you and shit all day. So, with that being said, then just simply like the pinned comment from me, and that will be helpful as well. Now we'll get into the video. And I'll start talking to you about all the good things that are going on in my life because Lord knows all the content that's been on this channel is cockamamie bull. And Lord knows, like, ain't nobody got time for nothing but cockamamie bullshit, right? Like, let's talk about some good things. Let's see. My oldest son, he's doing great. He actually has not even gotten a new roommate. He, got a really good raise at work again, and, he's able to maintain it by himself, and I love that for him. Work's going good for him. Life's going good for him. The baby is playing volleyball, which is probably his 11th sport. He plays all the sports and he's good at all of them. He loves all of them. He's living his best life. Lord knows, if I still had him, he probably, wouldn't be able to be in all these sports and stuff, Him living his best life is all that I could ask for, I do wish, that I had, like, some good news to tell you guys about the family and stuff, but I don't, I think in time, I also need to show them that, hold on, that was the doorbell. Lord knows we don't need any more company in this house, but you know what, it be packed up in here sometimes, and that's just how it goes. Life for me is so different, you know what I'm saying, because not only am I used to being by myself, you know what I'm saying, I have only lived with my son, you know what I'm saying, most recently, and he works so much that it's like it was like living alone anyway, right? And yeah, now it's to the point where, sometimes it's quiet in here for a full week, and then some days it's 3 days in a row, and between the brothers, they have their friends over and they watch games and girlfriends and this and that or the other. But definitely different nonetheless, especially when, other people who live in the house have company and you're trying to go to sleep. Sometimes it just doesn't work out in your favor, you know what I'm saying? And that could be very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating, I think, for me to have so many quote unquote roommates, within such a small vicinity. Is that the right word? I did not go to college, bitch. Don't judge me. Is this the vicinity? The vicinity of the apartment? I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say because I don't think that's the right word. I really don't. Let me finish my thought from before the doorbell was rang. I wish, that I did have good news about me and my family and everything being okay, but it's not. And, only time will tell. I do believe that time heals all wounds. And I know where I'm at in my life. And I continue to live life every day as if both of my kids are watching me. And I know that, I live every day that way. You know what I'm saying? And I just do my best to, make sure I'm acting like my kids are fucking right there watching me. Lord knows they wouldn't be at the park right there watching me, but I do. I pay attention to everything around me. I avoid things. I make sure that I don't add my opinion to things because I don't want any drama. And my life has been so drama free for the last couple months. And, I'm not saying that I haven't popped off here and there because I definitely have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody gets to a boiling point, right? But certainly not like a pop off, pop off. Like, I've yelled, I've raised my voice, you know what I'm saying? But there are certain people around me that I don't dislike that really will and can get me to that point, and I've realized that, and you know what I'm saying, I'm not willing to, I guess, separate them from my life if they make me yell every now and then. It's not a serious yell, but it definitely is like being angry, you know what I'm saying? And I guess just like for instance, there's a girl who is homeless out there, and she's been homeless for many, many years out there. And, she is one person who literally can't make me mad, but she can be, unfortunately, very unappreciative. She could be very greedy. She could be very, just like, not appreciative of things people do for her. And I kind of go mom on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you even find yourself acting this way? Or how do you dare not say thank you when someone just brought you all that food? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that I yell about. And those are things that I think you should yell at your friends about. I don't necessarily consider her a friend, but you know what I'm saying? Like, again, someone I'm not willing to cut out of my life because I don't dislike her. She's not a bad girl. She gets really, really drunk and she doesn't have no fucking home training. And you know what I'm saying? That's just kind of what that is. But otherwise, I avoid anybody that I know can possibly get on my fucking nerves. And although I have had to lose it a couple times, it's not like some big, huge pop off. And, compared to when I was sleeping outside, my attitude was very, very different. And I got into a fight out there, and I realized I haven't talked about anything, since I lived up there and, had to sleep up there. I, came to that park and I found that a large group of people hang out there a lot of the time, right? And I felt safe because people were around me and it was the same faces every day. So you think to yourself, well, if you're laying over there, they're not going to watch, a man come you. That's the only thing I worry about, when you're sleeping outside as a woman is a man violating me, that terrifies me. It truly does. And, I would definitely act a lot different. I had on my hardcore, I'm from the streets, can't nothing faze me, nobody scares me, nobody is going to intimidate or bully me or threaten me or, and I was just on 100 at all times, almost to protect myself or whatever I guess I was trying to do. But I also, I think in the back of my mind, really truly believed that that's how I had to behave in Chicago, especially living in a park, right? Until you realize the people that you're around at that park are not the same people you used to hang out with all the time at that park. They're not the people that you have to keep your guards up with, and you have to be on 100 with, and you have to be ready to fight, and you have to be ready to do this or that or the other. Like when you're around normal people, you can acclimate. Oh man, did I do some college shit again? My bad. That's actually some non-college shit, but yeah, it got loud in here, so I waited a minute. Hopefully this is a little bit better, because I'm sure for a lot of people it's annoying to hear other people in the background, but hopefully my voice is loud enough that it's not going to bother you guys that much. There's nothing I can do. This is the new Tira Nicole TV, okay? This is just how it's going to be. I think when I do like commentary videos, I'll definitely do them during the day when people are not here and things like that. But when I do life updates, I'm going to talk whether anyone's here or not. But when you're around all the people that you are around and they're not on no gangster shit and fighting and, fussing back and forth, or you feel like you have to, watch your back because of who you're around, or, things like that. Like, it's way different. And it's like, I totally got to come to Chicago and fucking chill. And I think that's the best part of everything. I know a lot of you actually watch all of my videos, and, months and months ago, I think like in August, right? Like the beginning of August is when I lost my phone on the bus, taking the buses and shit for the first time. And I literally could not get into Facebook until probably a week ago, if that. And I reached out to the two people that I speak to. I've had no contact with any of my old friends, not just in Waukegan where I'm from, because that's how I would get a hold of them without having their phone numbers and stuff, right, is Facebook. And I haven't been in contact with anybody all this time. Like, I have pretended, just like I did in Florida, like I had no friends, except for the two people that I've always talked to in these 5 years. And I definitely seen, some old friends, I guess we'll call them. But it was maybe 3 times in total in the last 3 months. And, they offered me a place to go take a shower and, do all the things. Like, I didn't need them for that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't ask anybody for help. I didn't have anybody to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? I definitely haven't, called my son to ask for help, and, like I've had nobody. And I think being back home and still having nobody, not being able to reach out to anybody or find anybody, like, that's like, holy fuck, dude. I'm stuck out here for real, because I don't even know how to get a hold of my friends. And I think I've decided that it's just going to stay that way. I know there's like rumors in the streets that like I can't go back to Waukegan where I'm from, and that's just certainly not the truth. But I do think that, at least now, like where I stand now, I have no intention on reaching out to any of the people that I, had assumed that I would reach out to once I got back home, and especially thinking I would land in Waukegan. I think it's just better to leave things where they're at, the way they have been since I was in Florida for them 5 years. I just think that's, kind of just best for me right now. Like, I don't, have a lot of time, I guess, to put into any friendships. And why would I reach out to people now after 5 years and then not have time to put into the friendships? You know what I'm saying? Like, not only do I really want to be back on YouTube and get back to doing real content, and I'm not just talking about my life updates, I'm talking about opinion videos and things like that, and really getting back to content. But, after the first of the year, my investor will give me another loan so I can get a nail shop going. There's things like that. And I have a whole ass boyfriend now. And my boyfriend is very needy. As much time as like we don't spend together, even if we're both outside or even at the park together or whatever, like that we don't spend together. When he wants my fucking attention, he wants my attention. And that's just, so it's, and considering, right, all of my friends are guys, I just don't think it's a good idea to be in the new relationship and reach out to all my guy friends now. Like we've already been in a relationship for 2 months. Like now that I've gotten into my Facebook, do I really want to reach out to them guys? So I'm just trying to make smarter decisions. I don't worry about him being like the jealous type or anything. I don't worry about that, but I'm very respectful when it comes to having a whole ass like man, and I'm just not gonna disrespect their face. So like long conversations, trying to feed friendships with, my homeboys, I just don't think is a good idea. And, I have certainly not missed, not seeing any of my homeboys out here either. So it's like here nor there. I don't care to see anybody from out here. I really, really don't. And that's just how I feel about that. And then, like, as far as Waukegan, I have the two people that I've spoken to for the last 5 years, and they'll probably be the only two people I speak to, unless I go out there and I see everybody, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna never say never, but like as far as reaching out to, friends at this point, it's like I don't even need to. I hope that don't sound bad. That kind of sounds bad. I feel like if I'm back home, like I should reach out to them. But like, I hope you guys also understand what I'm saying. Like now that I've been in a relationship for 2 months, like now I'm going to reach out to my friends. Like I don't know. It seems a little like, I don't know, fucked up. I'm obviously not missing anything. You know what I'm saying? I have definitely posted on Facebook that I'm back home. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like anyone's dying to talk to me either, right? So there's that. So yeah, I'm just, living life like a totally new life, even though I'm back home and I'm, back on my stomping grounds, right? I'm just living life very differently, and I have totally different group of friends. I have totally different kinds of friends, and I live with a very close-knit family. I live with, a bunch of sons who absolutely adore their mother. I live with a mother who adores me, and it's like, thank God, because I've never had to be accepted by a mother. I've never lived with a man. I've definitely never lived with a man's mother, let alone his brothers, right? And things like that. So, but, me and her get along great. She is very, she's a party girl. She likes to go out. She works, 6 days a week, and she works full time. She's been at her job for 25 years. She has her one homegirl, her one best friend, and, on her days off, she likes to party. And, she is part of a motorcycle club since she's really young. And, she's just, she's definitely my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely my cup of tea. I think we're very, very similar. As far as, how kind-hearted we are, and how we, absolutely have the biggest hearts ever. She can definitely be, feisty or sassy, right? But like, I definitely have a mean streak in me, and that's not something she has. My boyfriend's amazing. His brothers are great. They're, like I said, she raised some good men. Although I think, them living with their mothers makes them, losers, right, in the eyes of the world, or whatever the case may be. They're really good men, and they're just really good people. Everybody loves them. They don't have enemies. Everybody knows them. Everybody speaks to them. Everybody greets them. Everybody wants to talk to them. My boyfriend is very, very popular. He, and his brothers have lived in the neighborhood for 26 years now, so he's definitely someone that if you go to that park, you know what I'm saying, you know him or you have at least seen him. And more than likely, my boyfriend would have definitely come up and talked to you. That's just how he is, right? He has to talk to everybody. Very much a busybody. And literally one of the cutest things he's ever said, and it's still the cutest thing he's ever said, is his mom is his best friend, and she really is. She's his best friend, and that's just, their relationship. And at the end of the day, these boys don't want to leave their mom because they want to live with their mom while they're single and not married. You know what I mean? Because just like as an FYI, they didn't live here when they were making babies and doing all that in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, they do. They love their mama, and that's just, how it is in this house. I guess I'll get into talking about my boyfriend. He is not my type. He's not someone who would ever be my type. He, is not someone that I would initially be attracted to or any of the things, right? Like we totally connected on a different level. And I do think, we have, I guess, moved fast, right? Like moved fast, but we're also in our 40s, and I think we both know better. So that, makes a big difference. He's so good to me. He's, very touchy-feely, we literally sleep on each other, you know what I'm saying? He is very romantic. I don't know, he's everything I've never been with, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a type of men, and they're usually pretty boys, and they're usually not the best with, relationships and things like that, because they're pretty and like they've always been pretty and they like get all the bitches, you know what I'm saying? So I guess, literally the only flaw is he, really likes to be outside. He has a lot of back problems, and, laying around is just like not something he can do. And, all of his friends are always at the park, and, we live by the park. He doesn't have to go far, he's always close to home. And, he likes to, be outside a lot. And I think that has helped me to be outside a lot too, and that's helpful for me, for someone who doesn't like to leave their house or won't leave their house for a week at a time, or, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, there's definitely times, where it's like, damn, dude, bring your ass home, but other than that, I mean, oh shit, we have to figure out how to get a new air mattress. The air mattress got a fucking hole in it. Like, them are the, like, things that we have to deal with in our fucking relationship. You know what I'm saying? What are we eating tonight? Or, you know what I'm saying? Should we go to the food pantry? Da 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 da. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different, for like a new relationship, and, especially living in the living room and, things like that. But we definitely have privacy. I feel like everybody lives in their bedrooms here. You know what I'm saying? Like the brothers, they both, totally just hang out in their bedroom. And, his mom, she definitely just hangs out in her bedroom. So it's not like anyone, utilizes the living room for anything, even though there's a big ass TV and beautiful couches and, it's a beautiful setup and everything. But yeah, like no one, utilizes the living room. And literally the best part about my boyfriend is that he plays too motherfucking much. My boyfriend is such a bug. He will do and say the craziest shit. He will do everything and anything to get on your nerves. He just wants to fuck with people. And it's not any specific person. It is every person. But it's like that's the dude that keeps you laughing. You know what I'm saying? He might make you mad for a minute, but like I'm also used to it because my son plays too goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? My son is a whole like goofball. My son is a damn goofball. My oldest son, he is a goofball. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like I'm kind of just used to it. So he can't even really make me mad like he does most people, right? Because most people didn't ask or sign up for him to fuck with them. I kind of did, right? So it's, you can't be mad around the guy. You can't, He's almost never angry. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He, you know what I'm saying, doesn't act up. He doesn't, come out of his neck. He doesn't, like, unless he has to do something to protect himself or somebody he loves, like, he's the sweetest dude ever. Everybody fucking loves him. You know what I'm saying? Wherever he goes, south side, west side, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows my boyfriend. And truly, like, because of how he is, it has allowed me and helped me, right, to change exactly who I've been. His family is effing amazing. I had the best time ever over there. I wish we did it more. His mama's been doing a lot of things with her motorcycle club, so like we haven't gone back over to his sister's, but I look forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas and doing things with the family then, because the family is amazing. And I think anyone who has to spend the holidays alone, I think that's very sad, and I think if I were to have to spend it alone, I think it'd be double sad for me, and it's definitely not something I would look forward to. So it's nice to, I guess, be, a part of a family that, does get together. And it's a huge family, and there's a million sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters. And, I look forward to the holidays for sure this year. And I didn't think I would, especially my first, holidays home. I thought about that all the time, like, oh my God, and not that anybody or anything could ever replace my children, but, when you're alone, it's a lot different than, being with a family. So, yeah, I think just in general, like everybody, that I interact with now, and everybody, who I consider a friend or people that I speak to, I'm just surrounded by a lot of people, and they happen to be a lot of just really good people. And I know this sounds terrible, but like the facts are the facts. I've been in a gang since I'm 14, and them fucking gang members were my only friends for my whole entire life. Unless I had a one, two, maybe three, best friends that were girls, you know what I'm saying? My friends have always been the same friends. And they've always just continued to become a bigger and bigger group of friends. And I've never had friends that were just normal people. There's a guy up there who's a whole millionaire, and he's the most humble person you know. He'll ride up there on his bike, dude. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's younger people, guys in their 30s. Even, there's not a lot of girls that go up there, I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of girls that hang out up there, but there's definitely a handful of them that are like always there, right? But there's just all different walks of life. There's 70-year-olds that hang out up there. There's 25-year-olds that hang out up there. You know what I mean? And just different conversations with different people, black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, all different races, all different ages, all different. And it's so cool to even know that I can fit in, because I think even a year ago, if you told me, okay, you're going to go back home, but you're not going to be around anybody that you've been around in your 44 years of life. You're going to go back home to Chicago, and you're going to make a whole new group of friends. You're going to surround yourself with a whole new group of people, and you're not going to be friends with any of the people you were with in your past. You know what I'm saying? Those people really are gone out of your life. You left them in Chicago 5 years ago when you moved to Florida, and like they're gone forever. I would have said there's no reason to go back to Chicago. Like, fuck you mean? I can't fit in with normal people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a normal girl. Like, I'm just who I am, right? Like, I'm rough around the edges. It's just who I am, period. Although I know that doing YouTube was something that I needed to like happen in my life, right? Like I wanted all of those years, right, to work on being a better human. And I feel like the devil himself, showed me exactly the kind of humans that are out in this world. And it was not a good experience. I mean, we've all been there with me, right? Like, my experience on YouTube has done nothing but show me that humans suck. All I've ever wanted, in especially the last 5 years, was to be a better human. And YouTube, brought things out in me, and I've said things that like I shouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? And said things that only like the quote unquote old Tira would say, you know what I mean? And it's like I know that was the devil himself, taking me to a place where it's either you're going to be a better human or you're going to quit trying to act like you're becoming a better human. Because I would revert to old behaviors all the time in real life. And that would make me so upset. But for some reason, when things had gotten so bad the last couple years on YouTube, fighting back was all I had to do. I allowed my YouTube channel to become nothing more than a drama channel. You know what I'm saying? And that's on me. And that's something, that I lost my channel over. You know what I'm saying? I know that Jessica Kent is the reason it's gone. And that isn't necessarily drama, right? But like, I think even the way that I, voiced my opinions on things, all of that changed because it didn't all start that way. Once upon a time, I would never call a woman ugly or fat or, tell someone what a weirdo they are. Like I used to make sure that I didn't talk like that on YouTube. And like I said, once things got bad enough on YouTube, it's like, man, the things they say about me, like, they're gonna get a fucking bitch out of me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a bitch. You're gonna be a fat bitch, as a matter of fact. And I fought fire with fire, and that isn't how I want to live my life. That isn't how I was supposed to live life. That's just unfortunately how I lived life. And only I can change that. And that's something that I intend to do. And it's something that I work on doing all the time. Like I said, when I'm outside and I'm around people, and even when things are getting crazy around me, I always say to myself, bitch, you're going to act as if your kids are right here watching you. So go ahead, get involved in that. Go ahead, get all worked up. Go ahead. You want to get in a fight? Go ahead. But them kids are sitting right there watching. And it keeps me from, you know what I'm saying, even reverting to old behaviors in real life. I truly believe the devil himself placed my, frenemy into my life again for a reason. There's a reason she played that role with me. There's a reason she took things from me. There's a reason for all of that. I had to go through that. And I had to go through it while living on the streets, or, you know what I'm saying, giving my money to someone just to not be able to live in their house after a few days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was month after month after month of just like being robbed. You know what I'm saying? Being robbed. I know like I was only robbed one time, but like every month it was something new, and it all had to do with, losing out on money. And I was like, I'm never going to be able to make it here. It's way too expensive here. I keep losing out on money every month, no matter how hard I try to come up. And you know what I'm saying? I think all of those things happened for a reason. And I know when they happened. I know how angry I was, and I know, how mad I was, and I know the things I said, and I know the things that I really truly wanted to fucking do. I wanted to take the air from these people with my own hands. I know that. I know how I felt. But like, I don't even feel like that no more. I feel like it's all part of a lesson that I have been like, yeah, that the devil himself is handing me. And God is simply, having my back and saying, you're going to get through this and you're going to humble yourself enough to fucking act right, or you're just going to give it up and you're going to be a piece of shit. And I'm in the perfect place to be a piece of shit too. You know what I'm saying? If I want to gangbang and I want to, sell drugs and I want to, be a piece of shit and all these things, right? Like I'm back home. I'm not around my children. So I feel like it's do or die, right? It's do or die. It's I'm going to get it together and I'm going to be a better human, or I'm just going to be a piece of shit that I have convinced myself I was born to be. For the longest time, you guys, I promise you, I truly believed that I was put on this earth to be that mean, ruthless, heartless fucking human being. And I'm not. My heart is too big. I love really, really hard. I am so loyal. There's so many like really strong attributes that I have as a friend or as a wife, or you know what I'm saying, any of these things. It's like I wasn't meant to be a piece of shit. Some people really were put on this earth to do nothing but gangbang and die. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that person. And I'm so fucking happy that I've come to that conclusion, because the way that I have behaved on YouTube, which was my real life, it was my everyday life, all it did is put me in a headspace to be, the piece of shit fucking gang member from Waukegan. And you know what I'm saying? That just is out here to fucking fight everybody and have problems with everybody and be miserable every day. My life turned into that again during that journey of becoming a better human. You know what I'm saying? And I know that the devil is handing me these things, and God is simply holding on to me and reminding me that I can and I will be a better human. I'm going to be a better YouTube creator. I'm going to be a better storyteller. I'm going to be someone who can give commentary and maybe not even be offended that it's being called commentary, because it's more commentary than it is my, ratchet opinions. I want to do content differently. I want to, skyrocket with a nail shop. And, there's so many things I want to do. And if I do not live my life right, none of the good things that I want are going to happen. When you're not living right, that's when things fall apart. I put myself in a toxic situation consciously, right? Like I knew I was going to a toxic situation. Why would I expect anything but toxic to come out of that situation? Shame on me for even accepting that person back into my life and allowing them to be my friend, because obviously they were never my friend anyway. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, those are all lessons to be learned. You can dwell on them and you can be mean and hateful and be angry all the time. Or you can just continue to live life and, do what you got to do and just try to get over it. Now that my investor is willing to give me another loan, it's just like, okay, fine, fuck it. Like, okay, another one bites the dust, right? Like, it feels way better knowing that I'm going to be able to rebuild rather than sitting on the fact that how the fuck am I going to rebuild? You know what I'm saying? It's like every week, every something gets better, something good happens. I learn another lesson. I learn lessons every day in being outside around a bunch of people, especially people who are drinking or doing drugs or God knows what they're doing, right? I'm learning things every day. I'm learning how people are able to speak to each other, and oh my god, how can this girl be over here calling this dude a bitch like that? Like, that's her whole ass man. I trip out on things all day long, and them are just two stupid things that I can think of. I spent the last couple of weeks playing with the trolls, and that's not usually something that I do, where I actually go out of my way to, like, be mean back. Usually I'm just a smart ass, and then they shut up, and then they keep it moving, right? But like I've been playing with them the last couple weeks, and it's just like I'm bored to death. You know what I'm saying? I really am. I'm just bored to death. Like, I don't have attention to give to any of it anymore. I don't care enough. And it's just like, if you don't care enough, then why are you spending those 2 minutes to reply? You know what I'm saying? And I just need to move on. They'll go away eventually. People can't be obsessed with me forever. You can't stalk someone forever. You can't, watch their whole entire life and go to where they live and, try to find them at the park that they attend. And, like, that's not life, dude. That's not any life I want to live. That's not a life am going to live. And, YouTube is for fun. It's for content. It's for opinions and, really cool comment sections with people going back and forth about the way they feel about something. And, I need old YouTube back. I know that it's been drama for the last 4 years that I've been here, but, like, still, old YouTube was a lot of comments and people talking back and forth to each other and giving opinions on things and, sharing how they feel. And, I'm ready to get back to that. Like, creeps are going to be creeps, weirdos are going to be weirdos. There's nothing that I can do about people obsessed over me. There's nothing I can do about what people say about me. There's nothing I can do about any of it. I know that, and, I'm ready to move on, and I'm glad to move on. Thank God.